Alright, hey, what is good, yo? So, Viking Saga. I, I don't know what to say about this show, man. It's so important, like how they're doing things and how they're taking it slow, and man, it's working out well. It's working out really freaking well. I have seen excuse me, I have seen a lot of anime in my days, and this is one where I feel like if you just watch it, you can practically understand everything that the author or everything that the show is trying to tell you because they're not really sugarcoating anything and they're just getting straight down to business. But not only that, the characters who are kind of like just around Dorfin, uh, that sounds really weird to say it like that. Thorfinn. Um, to see all these like ridiculous Vikings pretty much just doing what Vikings do, so it's not even like a surprise that this happened, right? Like this is just how Vikings be and how they do, and so they pretty much wash up on shore and set up shop, find a village to practically absolutely obliterate, and after obliterating the village, they take all their food, they take all their goods, and even take their women and have fun. And that's just what they're probably going to do in every town they ever go to. That's just what Vikings do. And for our kid who, has never seen that side of battling, or for instance, it probably wasn't even much of a fight, seeing how, um, these guys are ridiculous and they're going against villagers who were probably caught off guard and weren't expecting anybody. So there wasn't that much of a fight as much as it was probably just them showing up and wrecking house. But he gets to see that side of it all, like he doesn't really put it all together and he doesn't really let it sit in because probably of how he's so focused on his own goals that that didn't dwarf any, like that didn't change anything that he already wanted to do. So it was one of those instances where he's just like, oh yeah, this is what these scums do. Holy crap, he took that and came right back at me. That was sick. But this was ridiculous, man. This was pretty rough to watch, and yeah, we're definitely just getting into it. It feels like it definitely seems like there's still a lot to show in this show, and because of that, it's got to be super sketch to see what they do with these overall characters in the grand scheme of like, how is he gonna start? How is he gonna start feeling towards them? Like for instance, he almost he almost started eating with them only because of how much he was starving, but seeing how they just kept, teasing him about it and talking trash, he didn't really want he doesn't want anything from them, and because of that, he became better for it. He learned how to not really size, not really size. He understands his size and what it's going to take to actually wield a true weapon that is good for him simply by, not only trying to duel the main guy who took out his father, but also trying to just, uh, you know, fight in general with it. He couldn't swing it, he could barely hold it, and then, um, the wolf that I thought might have, I was like, man, maybe this wolf might actually, not be a total douche, and I was wrong. I was very wrong. That wolf really did have it out for him, and to think that they didn't show us him eating the wolf or like skinning it and using it as like clothing and stuff, that was pretty weird to me. I don't know if he has that type of knowledge or if he's even gone hunting out with his father or anybody. So I guess it kind of made sense, but then at the same time, he goes to show us that he eats the rabbit, you know. So maybe eating wolves isn't something they're accustomed to or something like that, or I don't know. That was kind of weird. That was the only like weird thing that I felt like they kind of just left out after he had stabbed and the wolf like lays down, you know, literally laying down to death, and he doesn't eat it or use anything of it, you know. So I'm not sure what that was about. But regardless, seeing him duel for the last time and trying to get off his little attack of throwing the dagger, the surprise attack of throw the dagger, and it just really not working, man, like to see to see his face just like, oh my God, I did all that and this is what it amounted to. I just literally got kicked around and just beat up on for like all the reasons I thought I could win, and here I am still losing. So it's pretty crazy to see just what will probably transpire in this show. I mean, to be fair, this Thorfinn is he's ridiculous, man. Like some people would have cracked a long time ago under the pressure, not to mention he's gotten very, very lucky by challenging someone who, really doesn't care about he doesn't care about killing kids. He doesn't want to kill young kids. Or maybe that's just his way of, saving face and not wanting to kill off somebody who might have more potential than a lot of the men in his group already, right? He knows how much Thorfinn, or how much Thor was, and then you got Thorfinn, and they're pretty much putting him. They're stacking each other. They're stacking him to his dad already by saying that he's surviving this long, like father like son type of deal. Like they're not feeding him, they're not giving him water, they're not doing anything for this kid, and he's still making it any way, shape, or form possible. And that's where I think his respect has come in, because even after hearing that, he's like, oh, you went to the forest? What'd you do? And he's like, oh, I ran into Thorfinn again. I ran into that boy. And he's still alive, bro? Like, really? There's wolves, there's animals. He hasn't eaten. Why is he still alive? And sure enough, here comes that boy. Here comes that boy for that duel. Put them hands up, old man. So I got a feeling it was going to be like this for a while, but I'm kind of glad they're already getting past this point of him, like his attempts of killing him. He had the best attempt of taking him out while he was sleeping, but I think that's a huge, huge reason why uh, Thorfinn has not been absolutely just slaughtered in a duel yet. Is because of he's sticking to his father's ideals, and maybe this man wants to see what that will do for a person. How does sticking to a man who threw away his life for a boy, um, translate into what he became? Like, why was he so strong? Why was he so this and that? But at the same time, so naive to even believe, that they were having a fair duel and all this stuff. So that could be something on the back of his mind, like, I killed a guy that was ridiculously broken, and the only way I could do it was because I practically cheated my way through it. And here's his son, who isn't even going to take me out while I'm in bed, supposedly unguarded. But he already tells the kid, like, you should have killed me in bed. Like, bro, you're stupid. So, and before he tells the kid that he should have did it, he tells his soldiers or someone that noticed that he's yawning a lot and didn't get sleep. He's like, "What? You didn't sleep a lot?" And he's like, "Yeah, I had an annoying little fly. I had an annoying little fly buzzing around my room, right?" Oh my God, this guy is. I hate it. You hate to love him, right? You hate to love him, and to think that he would actually not do anything to this kid after, um, sneaking in, attacking him multiple upon multiple times, and, continuously going to do so. It's not like that's going to change anytime soon. He's going to continue to attack you until he gets revenge. And now it's turning into more of a promising thing than it is a negative thing. because he's getting stronger. He's literally, if they all, get messed up and abandon him and leave him somewhere, he could pretty much survive on his own. Like, that's worth, at least three soldiers that can't do it, like, oh my God, one of my soldiers are missing and oh wait, it's that guy? Oh, he'll be okay. As long as we can find him in an amount of time, he'll be fine because I know I can trust in him to get the job done pretty much. And that's kind of what I can see him as, but not so much as a worker for this guy. He's not going to continuously be like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go out and kill some people for you and stuff like that. But like he tells him in the end of this episode, if you go ahead and get, if you go and become like a Viking and do what we do and gain a Viking's achievement, I'll fight you. Like, I'll duel you. And I think that's cool and all, but I have a feeling that Thorfinn is going to be a little bit smarter than he's putting off when it comes down to him just charging out right now every single chance he gets to fight. I think he's going to deny the duel for a while, right? I think he's going to experience true chaos in these battles. Like, he's going to see what this man was really capable of and probably not want to duel him in the case of maybe losing his courage or something. And the only way he's going to get it back is probably once he feels that he could take life as easy as possible, like he doesn't need to be struggling with people who he doesn't believe is that worth struggling with. So I can see him definitely maybe getting smart enough not to take these challenges. I mean, unless he does and the guy stays awesome the whole time and not killing him and, beating him up and leaving him on the ground. Sure, but it seems like there's only so much he's going to put up or he should tolerate, like he shouldn't really be down to continue this farce forever, including if there's no improvement shown, which clearly there was already improvement by him attacking one time with a big sword, literally losing it, and then the next time around using a sword that fits him, getting off a lot more swings, and even after losing, he still had a little trick up his sleeve to try to go for long range distance. So that's a huge improvement from the first fight, and I can only imagine what he would be capable of, when he actually gets up to the point of, being able to move, having technique and stuff like that. I think we're just now getting an inkling of what this kid is going to be capable of, including since like the song of showing him like with two of the same kind of like daggers. That kind of gave that away that he definitely is going to master this form of fighting with these smaller weapons. Even though you do need to be closer, they still do the same job as taking life. So I could see him becoming very, very deadly with them. The other part of this episode was really just the daughter and how she's taking this. She's really like, she was just trying to work her way through it. Like anytime she was working, she was pretty much not thinking of her father. So it was nice. It was really awesome. And then she was also not thinking about her brother, which is not, probably coming home. So it's this weird notion of busy hands or happy hands, and I heard that quite a bunch once we had people pass away in our family, and no one really wanted to really think about it. So instead, my mom and grandma were really good cookers, so that's something they would just do. They would just cook a lot more than we ever needed, and that's kind of what they were doing here. She was doing everything that even the men do, even though it wasn't needed. I mean, sure, they were short on hands. I don't know why. I mean, everybody besides Thor and the son came back, so they should have had a decent amount of people, but somehow they didn't. So, you know, it's a very rough story, and it's definitely not for everybody. I think if you have a weak stomach, you probably don't want to watch this show because they just got into everything this episode. Like they went deep into Viking mythology and just gave it to us all. I mean, they didn't show it graphically, but if you know what Vikings do, they literally did it in this episode. So there's that. And with all that being said, though, I love it. I love the show. This kid is by far got one of the worst tragic lives we've seen in a while. And, well, me anyway. And I can't wait to see him actually overcome this and see what becomes of him, because if he goes to the dark side and becomes one of these guys in the grand scheme of, like, he kind of forgets his purpose. I mean, he's a kid, right? If he kills the man that killed his father, what is your purpose after that? You know, like, what do you do with yourself after taking the man that took your father away? And that's something that I expect, to go on for quite some time. Like, I don't expect the guy to die for some time. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm really interested, and that's exactly why I can't wait for more episodes of this. Man, I can't wait. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I definitely will talk to you soon with some more content today. But if not today, it will be tomorrow with that daily content. So with all that, peace.